I'm quite pleased that we're back to business as usual. I hope you've got some coin. Let's just take a look then. Till next time.
good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. I'm always available should you need me, Archmage. Not much, I'm afraid. It was named Cavazine's Fang after the dragon worshipped by this particular sect of the cult. They were said to be quite fond of ritual sacrifices. So fond, in fact, that the High Priest spent a great deal of time sharpening the dagger. That way, it was always ready for the next inevitable victim. Perhaps not the brightest spot in Skyrim's history, eh? Actually, yes, Archmage. I believe there is. We've been contacted by the Jarl of Markarth. It would seem there's some sort of disturbance. From what few details we were given, it sounds quite familiar. I suspect that the power released by the Eye of Magnus was not fully contained and has coalesced in this part of Skyrim. I do hope you still have the Staff of Magnus someplace. I suspect you're going to need it. Not just any dragon scales, heart scales. Very special. You'll need Cavazine's Fang, of course. Then, if you should happen upon the corpse of a dragon, you should be able to use it to slice off a heart scale or two. Even just one should be enough for me to complete my research. Well, yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I can't find my alembic. I suppose I could use another one, but, well, it sounds silly, but mine has sentimental value. If you happen to see it, would you mind bringing it to me? My alembic. I need it for some research and can't seem to find it. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Until next time.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you look a little sickly. Until next time.
Nasty business with that Ancano fellow. Pity that I was unable to assist, but I was otherwise occupied. I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it. He didn't like the Archmage. Hated dealing with him. Hated having to answer to him. Thalion said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Arin found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem. Ah, that, yes. The group prior to yours has disappeared entirely. It's possible that there was less than the necessary amount of oversight. That's still being looked into. But we've had no contact with them for quite some time now. Arniel wondered if perhaps they'd somehow managed to get themselves lost in the Outer Realms. But I think that's giving them too much credit. I'm not sure. None of them were working on anything terribly dangerous. As I recall, Ysra was trying to improve flame cloak spells to better work in Skyrim's harsh environment. Elos Tai was practicing illusion spells. She was having trouble with the calm spells, I believe, but only ever worked with skeevers. And then there's Borvir and Rundi, twins, though they rarely agreed on anything. Those two boys were obsessed with mead, convinced they could concoct something to compete with Honningbrew. Something about using frost magic to chill the mead for a certain period of time. I felt it was a waste, but the Archmage let them proceed. Take a look. All right, then. There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution.
We have survived difficult times, and are... You can see me? Confound it all, I was quite sure I was invisible. Or at least transparent. Oh my, that's quite a difficult question. Never underestimate the ability to influence others. Whether they're friends or foes, they're almost all susceptible to illusion spells. They can turn the tide of a battle in a moment's notice. There are also spells that help in avoiding conflict altogether. Invisibility is tricky to master, but exceptionally useful. There may be a matter in which your skills could be useful. The various points of focus for magic energies around the college have become polluted and need cleansing. Very well. These specially enchanted gloves will allow you to delve directly into the focal points for these energies. Go to each focal point and remove whatever impurities you may find there. Return the gloves to me when you have finished. Please exercise caution. This is not a procedure without possible consequences. Use the gloves to clear the focal points. Return to me when you have finished. I thought I made this rather clear. Take a look. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Good day.
We all have you to thank for saving the college. Your position is well deserved. I dare say you've learned all I can teach you. But that doesn't mean there isn't more out there. Over the years, I've heard things. Powerful magics lost to the ages, incredible spells that only the most skilled mages can master. This is the only thing I've ever found. I think it's better off in your hands. Certainly. Destruction spells come in different forms, each useful for various purposes. Concentration spells can be cast immediately, though they're weaker. Good for a tight spot and less costly if you miss. You'll also need to decide whether to devote yourself to a single type of spell. Focusing solely on flame spells will make them more powerful, but you may find yourself at a disadvantage against foes immune to fire. So, you wish to master the arcane arts? Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. It's been a pleasure.
You look awful. Better not get me sick. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. If you can't, perhaps Urag has a book you can read. My pleasure. Sure is. I've got another client. Wants me to do some enchanting. You can do the pickup for me if you want. All right, be quick about it, will you? This is a good way for the college to bring in some money. Here's the name and location of the client. Until next time.
I'm sure you've made note of who's been the most helpful during your time here, Archmage. May I just say it's a pleasure to have you leading the college, really.
The Eye of Magnus, here but lost. Slipped through our grasp. Yes, they have. I can feel the difference already. But, of course, I'm far more in tune with these sorts of things than most. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. Good day.